Well, good morning, that Oregon life. Welcome to Oregon, live with Rick Dancer and Kathy Dancer, and we are in Coos Bay, North Bend, Charleston for the next 2 days, producing live shows for you from all over the South Coast down here. And right now, we're going to talk about maritime history and some of the things that went on and are going on today in terms of boat building, tugboats, really the thing that made Coos Bay what it is. We're going to have some ghost lore, some old ship stories, and we got an expert here who's going to talk about it. When I worked down here in 1987, that boat was still an active tugboat going out there. And the ones out here, if you look out here like that, those are tugboats that still go out and bring in the big ships to Coos Bay, North Bend, to bring in wood products and any other things that are coming into the port. So again, we are sitting here, and the boardwalk here, you can see this is still about shipping, this is the boardwalk that was not here when we lived down here. And now folks come down here and can walk up and down the boardwalk and see what's going on and find out what's happening. And it looks a little different than when we were here.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. This whole area, you can walk out here and see the history. They've got little plaques and they have little different buildings that you can walk in, and it shows all about what the history of this whole area. It's pretty amazing.
And you guys, did you know Larry Stevens? Leo, I didn't, but I bet you're related to him. As you guys can see, it's right off of Highway 101, and you can just park downtown and then walk across the street and go up and down the boardwalk and find out what's going on. So, Kath, we're going to talk. Here's our guy. You are?
Hi, Tom Leahy, Rick.
So, Tom Leahy, and you were a city councilor?
Yes, I was.
For how long?
Oh, I think it was about 2.5 years.
And now he's supposed to be semi-retired, but he's really not.
No, I'm repositioned.
He's repositioned.
Yeah, like an old boat.
but one of the things that's kind of his addiction is the maritime history of Coos Bay, North Bend. You've kind of made a habit of studying this stuff.
Yeah, it's fascinating. We're the largest deep water port between San Francisco and Seattle, so we have quite a tradition of shipbuilding here, and we built more tall ships than any other port in Oregon, so we're the tall ship port of Oregon.
So what does that mean? What's a tall ship?
Well,
we can show them, can't we?
Yeah, a tall ship is a rigged vessel with masts, and it can be schooners or barkentines, and we had more success using schooners because coming up from San Francisco, they could point a lot better into the wind, and it took a lot less crew members because a tall ship with square sails, you have to go up in the rigging and unfurl the sails or take them in.
So how many were built here, these tall ships? You guys, let me show you what
over 70.
Over 70 between what year and what year?
Well, between the mid-1850s to 1920.
So this is where those were built?
Exactly. There's shipyards all around the bay, and the first one was down, H.H. Luce was down on Mill Street down in Empire, and then Asa Simpson came up and found great logs for trees, and fir made a very good hull, and so he started a shipyard up in Old Town up in North Bend.
So Asa Simpson was the father of Louis Simpson, who was the founder of North Bend.
Yes.
And we're going to, on Friday, we're going to show you a video from out at Shore Acres where Louis Simpson's home was.
Yeah.
And we have an expert in town who's going to talk with, we talked to Dick, Dick Wagner, he's going to show us around and tell us all about what's going on out there in Shore Acres. So tell us the story. I want to see this boat.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys check this out. So, okay, so Tim, come here.
So this is the North Bend, and it was this was painted by Lois Olds, and she just donated it to the boat center to the community yesterday. It's kind of timely, but here she put a chart, and then she showed the North Bend coming into Coos Bay. Now this boat is,
so this, you guys, so this is the actual boat right
that's
here, the
actual
ship.
boat,
And so what happened, as you said, it got stuck.
Yeah, up in Peacock Spit, up in Astoria.
Up in Astoria, that's where it got stuck. And then they really discounted it and thought it was gone.
For sure.
What happened to it? Did it sink or?
No, it was stuck in a sandbar for about 13 months. And then, for some miraculous way, it walked itself back out into the channel, and she floated, and she was used commercially again, and to the point where she became a lumber barge then. for quite a few years, and she was finally burned out on Cape Arago. And that's on the last paragraph, I think, right there.
So they actually ended up burning her out
Yeah.
of Cape Arago.
Yeah.
So kind of Coos Bay, North Bend has a history of bringing boats back from the dead, like the new Carissa.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But they towed the new Carissa out and they blew it
They
up.
blew it up. Well,
Yeah.
finally, because it kept
Yeah.
coming back and moving and
Yeah.
coming back. But so why is maritime history so important for people to remember here in Coos Bay, North Bend?
Well,
Charleston?
a couple of reasons. We had all these natural resources that were needed down in San Francisco, say, and up the rivers here, it's a very productive agricultural area, and so fruit and vegetables and dairy. Then the other thing that's so important with the maritime industry is we didn't have roads here. As a matter of fact, people are still saying, well, we don't want to come because we're so isolated here, but it's
That's how
a
you
great
used
area.
to get here.
Yeah, and so all along where we are here, we had the mosquito fleet. Now, these weren't tall ships. These were different vessels that would take kids to school. They'd bring the milk down and the products right down here on Front Street, which is just this whole thing. Can you imagine? We had float homes down here and all these boats going back and forth, providing transportation and bringing things and produce
So the
shipped out.
Coos Bay has always been the lifeblood of Coos Bay, North Bend.
Well, yeah.
And we forget that sometimes.
Well, and then Coos Bay is called Coos Bay because during, say, the late 40s, there was efforts to combine North Bend and Marshfield because that was our first name, Marshfield. Named after Marshfield, Massachusetts. And so then there was a vote, and we've tried it a couple of times, or 3 times, but Marshfield then became Coos Bay. And we have a lot of different businesses called Marshfield.
Come this way.
Like,
Yeah, and well, the high school too.
like Marshfield High School.
Let's walk over to the other side. I want to see what's going on over here while we're talking.
Okay.
So, why are you so into this?
Oh, it's just fascinating. I love local history. I came here to visit in 1974, and I've been sailing since over 50 years.
So it doesn't stop with your addiction. Doesn't stop there because you also now are doing a nonprofit to help people build boats.
Right. The Coos Bay has an urban renewal district in both Empire and Coos Bay, and so the citizens in Empire wanted to have a boat building school, and so the city wanted people to apply to start the school, and that's what we did. So we're 10 years old, and we host the tall ships when they come in. Incidentally, that they just left last week. And
So this is a boat building school for people to
Yeah.
learn how to do it.
Yeah,
You want to
and
keep that
woodworking.
tradition alive.
Absolutely. That's exactly our mission, is to keep and remember our shipbuilding history and
See,
our wood products.
I think this is amazing. You guys look, this is the Coos, and seriously, this tugboat used to operate when I was down here. I remember this boat. But look at that.
Now these are called, in here there's caulking you put into the seams and use oakum. And I collect the old tools that put the oakum in. And
But look at
Yeah.
that, how rough that is.
Yeah.
I mean, just think of all the things that banged into, you know, in a day, and all the ships that brought in, and people that went out.
It's just neat. Now, there's a boat down on Front Street that the boat center rebuilt. It's a static display, but it's just down on.
Let's go look at it. So, guys, here's some that are still operating right now. The Salishan, and Sauce Brothers operates that, right?
There's Knutson Towboat.
Knutson towboats.
And Sauce Brothers, they build barges that are used all over the world. It's a world-class company, and they're over in East Side, and they build these great big barges that ship products. And so we're still building ships here and barges. But the demise of the wooden shipbuilding was the gas torch. Once they started welding things, then that was the decline of wooden shipbuilding of the tall ships.
So progress is what destroyed the wooden ship.
Yeah. You cut you know this scar?
Yeah.
That came from a chicken coop the other day.
You'd like that. You got to make a better reason for that. So there's Ben McKee is watching right now, and he used to work here in Coos Bay for KEZI back in the day. So Ben, we are here in talking to Tom about maritime history. We're down in Coos Bay, North Bend, and Charleston for the entire day today and tomorrow. Introducing to you, we're going to take you to the bottling. Seven Devils is bottling their beer.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my God! So we're going to go in there tonight. We're going to go running with them. Their little running group.
Yeah.
And they're having a pizza and a big party. They have a live band tonight.
It's Wednesday night.
You knew that already, didn't you?
Yeah, my daughter helped start that Wednesday running group, Sarah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, we don't. They don't know we're coming, except we've said it on here. But my wife and I like to run, and I thought, hey, there's a way to get our workout in. They go have beer, right?
Yeah, that's kind of works that way.
That's kind of the way it works. Yeah.
Got to keep that fluid intake.
So why have you stayed in Coos Bay all these years?
Well, I came here to visit some friends that were going to Oregon Institute of Marine Biology, and it reminded me of northern Minnesota. And I went back to see if I wanted to live back in Minnesota a few years ago, and went there when it was 90 degrees above, and then in February it's 20 degrees below zero. I said, and my kids are here, so I just love, and this size community is just wonderful. The things that are starting to happen in our town, it's just kind of waking up after many years of
a lot of
economic challenging. Yeah, and it's really a neat place, and it's growing, and a lot of dynamic things taking place, and a lot of positive energy. You can feel it.
Yeah, it is different. And Benny, since you were here, there's some development going on the riverfront. Somebody just bought some property to do some development there, and buying property on the other side. So things are really starting to take off here. Yeah. I like the sidewalks out in Empire.
Oh yes.
Oh my gosh, you got Ben and everybody who, I'm not just talking to Ben, but out in Empire, there's these, they have sidewalks now going out there to Charleston, and we're going to be in Charleston tomorrow. Hey Ben, guess what we're doing tomorrow? We're going to go out with the Betty K, and we're going deep sea fishing live, and then we're going to go meet the wild women of Charleston, and we're going to have lunch at the port side. Here today, we're going to be at Seven Devils in a little bit. We got a lot more planned. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Ben said to tell you hi. He used to cover the news down here for KCCI.
Hi Ben, hello to you.
And he remembers you. So for the rest of you guys, share this on your page, and we'll be coming to you live from restaurants, some other places all day today. We're going to be at the Egyptian Theater around 12:30. That's when the organ plays.
Oh yes.
So they have a pipe organ in the Egyptian Theater. It's a gorgeous old theater, and we are going to be in there kind of introducing you to that. This is super fun.
Yes, and upstairs, the slippers of the original organ player are still up on a ledge.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, that's pretty neat.
Do they know that? You're not telling me something I should know.
No. Carol Long might let you see that.
Okay.
And don't forget the Marshfield Sun Printing Museum. It's the only printing museum in Oregon. It's down on Front Street. It's got 5 sides. It's owned by the museum.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so much to see here. And all our nonprofits are interconnected with each other, so we support each other in many ways.
It's a great place. Well, thanks again for taking your time.
Oh, thanks for coming.
And you guys, Oregon's Adventure Coast is the people who brought us down here, and we're going to be doing all kinds of adventure. This is just beginning. So we'll keep in touch with you.
I hope so.
All right. Hey, Ben, keep watching. Keep sharing your stuff. Hey, Tom, thanks for the passion you continue to bring to North Bend and Coos Bay. I look forward to it.
You're welcome. It's just a wonderful place, and I'd like to contribute.
All right, you guys. We will see you in a little bit. Janice has me planned. I don't know where she keeps taking me places. I don't know where we're going. All right, share this on your page, you guys.